Hey everyone, Updog here, and I have a video for you today. Joining with me a special guest, Tdatz, going over his roster and getting him ready for the Black Cat trial. We're going to cover his Nowhere team. We're going to cover the other traits and what characters he could use. Thought it might be helpful for you, so let's take a look. So we're here with Tdatz, and we are going to take a look at his roster to see how prepared he is for Black Cat. So we are gonna take a look at Nowhere here first, and your stars are looking good. Good job on that.
I've always had a big problem with stars, and kind of things have. I kind of feel like I've back-ended a lot of them, but yes, it's been okay, like in retrospect. So it was sad in the beginning, but like I finally got stars by the end that I was okay. So.
Yeah, nice. So let's see.
I'm still working on T4s.
So in the past, what difficulty have you been doing for like trials and scourges and stuff?
For most of them, I've been able to get through Tier 8. I can't remember which one it was. There was one Scourge that I had to wait. I think it was the Minion Scourge. I had to wait to get Archangel up to like a higher star level. So I think that was the only one that I've ever really had trouble with. So, I've obviously been trying to focus on this over the last, couple weeks and months, and to the detriment of the rest of my roster. But, considering, because again, I was chatting about this and, in Twitch chat, like, hey guys, when is it again? Like, oh yeah, it's the 29th. Like, okay, like, I would really, really, really like to have every single one of these guys up to 75 by the time that the event starts, so that if I really need to push very hard, clearly you could see that like Nova was my main priority, which of course is obviously no brainer because you can use him in Cosmic Crucible, and as you know, he has been vital in Cosmic Crucible thanks to your support. So thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. So.
All right. So with that pact, is what they're calling it, that allows the all war abilities to be used, I would probably, I would work on. You're probably going to need to work on Star-Lord some more as far as levels, and if you can get him up to 80, level 80, gear 15, that'd probably be the best, because he's kind of squishy. And then Thor brings the damage, and you got lucky because you won our Alliance giveaway for Thor. So for those who don't know, our Alliance is called Knights of Stormbreaker, and I'm the lead there. And I just thought it was fitting that since this Thor with Stormbreaker came to the game, that I should give away a free Thor to someone. So really, it was nothing really special about it. Just put your name in a hat and let the bot decide who wins. So Tdatz actually won. That's kind of I didn't forget about it, but it's kind of ironic that we're doing this video with you in it and stuff. So, anyway, so Thor, he is the damage dealer. So, I would say he's probably your second priority if you can't get through some of those nodes in difficulty 8. He would probably be the second priority since he brings the damage and stuff.
Honestly, what I think we really need from you is a breakdown on the T4 priority.
Oh.
What should you focus on and what priority and what order and why?
Okay. Well, did you do your Nova T4s already?
Yes, he's all good to go.
Okay. So
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're good to go on Nova. So yeah, you want to do. I can look at mine and see because I might have.
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Here we go. Thor Infinity War.
Okay.
6 and 4. Don't need to worry about that. 6 and 5. Sticks and 4. I think the next is Cosmo on the passive, but we'll see.
Okay.
And then
you got the
6
passive
and
on.
5.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, what you have on Nova is what I have. Let me look at my Cosmo here.
I'd also be curious about your thoughts on ISO, if you think I've got a good ISO recommendation or not.
My ISO, I know a lot of the community does not like some of the ISO choices that I had, like Run 7. I didn't like some of my ISO choices. Dulum, I think.
You're entitled to your opinion, sir. It's
Yep.
your show.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I'll give you what I have. Let's do ISO first. So Cosmo I have as a skirmisher. Now it's a good case to be a healer as well, so that's not bad. Star-Lord I do have as a skirmisher as well, so yeah, I would keep it at there. The only reason for those two skirmisher is because then I have Thor as a striker. And he does make a good raider, but let's see, his ISO attack here, I'm guessing. Oh yeah, so his striker attack, I'm assuming is going to clear 2 negative effects. So with his striker attack, it'll clear 4 negative effects, so that's good, and then add another defense down on top of it. So that's why I have him as striker. And then what do you have for Nova? I think Korg you had a skirmisher. Okay, so you have striker, Nova, that's good. Then Korg I have as fortifier. Skirmisher I think is decent too. It's a good, there's a case to be made to use that as well. But I just have fortifier because when he revives, he'll refresh with that barrier again. So yeah, so let's see, T4s now. Let's go to Thor again. So I have the special T4. Yeah, so right now it doesn't have an ability block, so that ability block's huge. Not only just in war in general, but for this trial it's going to be big, and it's only a 4-turn cooldown, so it's a good T4 there. Then the passive.
So what you're saying is Updog is rising for the special of the T4 on Thunder God's Wrath. Is that correct?
Yes, yep. You probably want to do that one. Now we'll talk about priority though. As far as if that one's going to be like the top priority for you to do or not. Yeah, the passive is pretty big too for him. So those are 2 pretty big ones. Let's take a look at Star-Lord. So you have the passive. Now I have the special on him as well. Now go to his special. So with the T4, it clears immunity from the primary target and the highest damage non-primary target. So especially when you're going up against Gamma, that's going to be a big one to have. And then I also did his ultimate. So if you go to his ultimate, now this is the one where I did video. You can check out my video on it. And I need to probably test it out again and see if they fixed it, because I know they approached me about it. But basically what's happening, there's a bug with this. The way it reads to me is attack primary and adjacent targets and apply trauma to each target with vulnerable. So what was happening is if a adjacent target did not have vulnerable, it was still getting the trauma, which is good in our case. It helps us, the players. However, if you are not paying attention and let's say you attack somebody without vulnerable as the primary target, but the adjacent target does have it, excuse me, then none of the traumas get applied at all. So it's very important that you pay attention to who you're attacking and if they have vulnerable or not, just for this ult anyway. Because if you do have this T4, that does the trauma, that's going to be huge for you. So as far as priorities between those two characters, well, and then Cosmo's got a couple T4s too, which are going to be important. I guess the ult is probably more important. So the ult applies Safeguard to your team. So that's pretty big. And generates ability energy too, looks like. So that one's probably, it's a big cooldown, but it's also a pretty good ability. It can save your ass if you're really hurting, like if you're Thor and your Star-Lord are really hurting in the red, they can heal them right up, give them Safeguard, energy, all that. So that's probably going to be the highest priority, I'd say. Now I did T4 her special as well, but it's more of a I'd say that one's probably going to be last out of the ones we've been talking about so far. It's a good one to have, but probably not like essential. So
why is that?
Well, it just clears more positive effects. She already clears 3 without the T4, but I just did it because I have a ton of T4 materials, and you know, all positive effects are better than 3, so.
Well, concerning if you were like a younger player that didn't have as much,
right?
You know,
I would skip. I would,
what would
skip it probably. Yeah, it would definitely be low on the list, low on the priority.
Okay. What else?
All right. So then Korg, I don't even know if I did any on him. Probably. Okay. Oh, right, because he has some turn meter rewind stuff going on. So on his special, play offense up for 2 turns and reduced speed bar by plus 10%. So instead of 10% rewind, he gets a 20% rewind now with the T4. So, and that one's a short cooldown, fairly. Does that add the unavoidable? I don't know if it does or not. Can't see that on my screen, but that's a pretty good one. What's the ult? I did do his ult as well. So this one rewinds, instead of 15, it rewinds by 30%. So man, this team is just so T4 heavy. I would say that Cosmo 1's probably number 1, because you want to keep your team healed up, protected, all that good stuff.
Alright, let's slow down so everybody can catch up.
Okay.
Which one?
Cosmo, the ultimate. It's probably going to be the number 1 after you get Nova done.
Sorry.
After you get Nova done, I'd say Cosmo Ultimate would be the top priority after that.
Safeguard, right?
Yep, Safeguard, healing, ability energy, all good stuff. Especially for a trial, Scourge type thing. So, alright, and then, which one is it? The special. The Thor special is probably the next most important after Cosmo's ultimate, and then might as well do Thor's passive after that as the next important.
So, let's rewind. You think the ability block is that important, you think?
Yeah, because you don't have really much control other than Star-Lord's blind. So that's my opinion anyway. And then the passive will reduce charges on protectors. So She-Hulk, Hulk, any other protectors we have there in the trial. And then he has that out of turn damage too on that passive. So yeah, I would do those two, and then the Star-Lord, probably the Star-Lord ult next, and then the special.
Tell us why you think.
Okay, so the ult's just because of the trauma spreading. Now, whether or not they get it fixed or whatever is up for debate. But yeah, you definitely want to have trauma out there. Then the special, clearing the immunity, is going to be big, so you can get those other negative effects on people.
1000% focus. Woo wee.
Yeah. And then I would do after that, do the Korg, probably the ult first and then the special, just since the ult rewinds more turn meter than the special does. And so the good thing about Korg is you don't really need to have him too big. Like for you, Tdatz, you probably could do like gear 14 and level 75 and be done with him, because of the way that he gets revived by anyone using their basic. Nova, Thor, anybody on the team, they use their basic in war, they'll revive him 100% of the time, unless he was killed by like a Kestrel or a Black Bolt or whoever else, Kang or whatever. But that's one of the benefits of Korg, really, is because you don't need to have him super big. And that's why I have that Fortifier ISO 8 to, because when he revives, he'll just refresh that barrier, like I said. So, and then that last T4 would be that, whatchamacallit, Cosmo special. So yeah, I would say difficulty 8's probably going to be pretty difficult for you right now. If you were to go in there right now, if it was starting tonight, it would probably be a lot of resets, getting good RNG. But if you can get them like to those levels, like I said, level 80, gear 15 on those, on Star-Lord and Thor, then I think you'll be good. It'll be a lot smoother for you. Cosmo, it would help to have her level 85, or not 85, 80 in gear 15 as well. I think she might be okay at 14, gear 14 and level 75, but like I said, those other two guys will be the priority for as far as building them up more first, and then Cosmo, then Korg would be my recommendation. And obviously get the blue ISO if you can.
Oh, of course, man. No, I'm looking forward to the challenge. So let's go.
So what is it? I don't know if it's going to be 7 days or 10 days, but yeah, you'll have some time still to keep working on them.
This has kind of always been my plan, is that if you're smart, you kind of wait and you kind of see how things go, and you wait till people figure it out, and then you invest accordingly. So this isn't anything new, so just, and if you don't get it the first time, like, that's okay, you'll get it the second time. It's people get so butthurt about this stuff, like, come on, like, just slow down, calm down. If you don't get it the first time, because trust me, like, I've got like very disappointing first Scourge performances before, but join a good alliance, and then things will probably change for you. So let's go.
Okay, I was just counting. So all you need to get Black Cat unlocked, if that's what you're wanting to do, mainly, all you need is 550,000, and that can be done on like probably difficulty 5 with some packs in there, but definitely difficulty 6, I would guess. So yeah, it's not like you need to have some FOMO, have any FOMO, and yeah, I think you hit it on the head there with do your first run, see how it goes, and then see what what the other big whales and krakens are doing in the event, and go from there and just see who you need to focus on. But yep, that would be my recommendation for you. Wish you luck.
Do we need to go through the other ones first?
Oh right, yeah, we probably should go through. Let's see. So let's do global controllers. So the other category is mystic villains. Don't worry about changing it yet, but just keep in mind that Morgan Le Fay and Doom are going to be able to be used in both those sections. So you want to, basically the goal is to keep both of them alive to be used in what is it? 4 nodes? Yeah, Doom and Morgan Le Fay. And then probably Omega Red would be your third. Probably Scarlet Witch, just for some extra healing. Mainly is her job. And depending on how, you know, the enemies on the node, you might want to bring in, instead of Scarlet Witch, you might want to bring in Magneto and Dark Beast. Because that way you can blind everybody right at the start and kind of save your ass at the beginning, blow some abilities on their part, you know. And, you know, with Dark Beast in there, he'll speed up Magneto a little bit more, so that way you can get that blind off. You could also put in Emma as well to slow them down even more to guarantee that blind, but that'll just be kind of like playing around a little bit with it, you know, to see if you need that extra speed advantage to get the blind off. And then as far as other options for you,
that's about it.
go up a little bit. You could use Nakia and Okoye and Sharon Carter, but I don't think they're gonna probably work for 2 nodes. They might work for 1 node, but I don't know if they'll last, you know, into 2 nodes. Or could be able to be used for a sack too, you know, and then bring in your big team. She's right, second row, middle. I don't think Kate's probably a good idea. Vision might be decent too. Vision and Scarlet Witch have a little bit of synergy, so there's that. So okay, yeah, that's about it. Moonstone is kind of situational. She can come in and on 1 node and do her stun, and that's about it, I guess. She only gets the
Basically
1 stun.
Making me double check all of my T4s. Like, oh yeah, most of these are just like add additional damage. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so let's take a look at the Mystic Villains. All right, so like I said, Morgan and Doom. And then you could do Strange and Agatha and Dorm. Sounds like a pretty good team to me. You know, you also have Hela, Loki, and you could do Sylvie as a 3-piece with maybe Absorbing Man. Who else you got below that? And Teen Loki, there you go. So that would be an interesting team to use. A decent, strong team that could throw in there. But after that, doesn't look like you have many options. So,
well, you know, Juggernaut, maybe, you know,
Nobu, maybe revive somebody. Oh, Mr.
You know,
Negative, oh, poor guy.
Trust me, you know, for 26 million TCP, I feel pretty proud.
Yeah,
so,
I know, that's pretty good. I wish that Doom was a little bigger too, but we'll take what we can get.
Trust me, of course, we've lived through the Mystic Crunch. We know what the Mystic Crunch is all about.
Yep.
So,
so yeah, I think
what's next?
Yeah, I think you got some good options anyway for that. And then the last category is just brawler, straight up brawler.
Wow.
There's a lot of brawlers, so let's see what Tdatz has got here to offer. So it's interesting the Thors on this list. I think I was telling
him I'm building him for T4, of course.
Right.
Black Cat.
It's interesting because I was talking to somebody in our alliance about this, and he mentioned, well, Thor's a brawler, so if your cooldowns get thrown off, you could throw him in one of the brawler nodes. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So just keep that in mind, I guess. But let's see, you got Hulk and Abomination. Let's see, we got the 2 Black Panthers. Shang-Chi. Yeah, you got a lot of options. I'd probably do Quicksilver for sure. Red Hulk, Abomination. That's a good 3-piece. Maybe Vol. Vol and Death Pool maybe would probably be like a 5-piece team there you could use, and then that way you have Miss Marvel you can use as like a secondary team.
Trash. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What'd I say? Red Hulk, Abomination, Quicksilver. Oh yeah, Deathpool and Vol. I think that'd be probably your team you want to use, and then you have a bunch of options for a secondary team you can do. So Titania is good. You could do Lady Deathstrike with Sabretooth and Shang-Chi. And like I said, Miss Marvel in there too. Yeah, you're good. This is probably the one category that you're like the most set on. Like, shouldn't have to do much, if anything.
That's kind of the fun of this, because like, as much as we like love and hate Marvel Strike Force, like I really do like that part of the Scourge that like you really do have to figure it out. It's like if you play a video game, like you have to play it a certain amount of times. You have to learn the tempo and the method and the methodology to kind of make it all work. And that's kind of what I love about the Scourge and the Nova Trials. Is that like you got to keep trying, and like that's, I think, if Scopely could focus on that, like that's part of that like mythology or like myth building thing that I think is really important. I hope they would try and focus on that in the future, because again, it's like, why would you play a game 100 times? Because you want to make the key fit in the hole. Like that's what that's a big part of playing video games. Yeah. So for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean they tried to do that with the incursion raids, but with a lot of the times what they do is they have a great idea, but the implementation is just not good. So I agree with you, though. I wish they would do more of that kind of stuff.
But I think they're trying to work that direction. I truly do believe that, Scopely at this point deserves the benefit of the doubt. I hope people will give them a chance. Like, I think that they've listened and they've heard and they've are trying to respond as much as they can.
Right.
Like, we have to understand they're a company that has bottom lines and goals, and if you can understand that versus community management, which is like trying to, help us understand why the business operates the way that it does, well, then if you can, then things are going to be fine, guys, because again, it's just a game. Like, let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. Like, it's not life or death. Like, nobody's gonna die because of this game. I know we're all sweaty, and I know we love it. So let's just have fun. Let's just enjoy it. Okay?
Yep. Wapo, here's one of the blogs that gave the nodes and the traits and stuff on those nodes. So once again, thanks to Tdatz for joining me on this video. Especially sharing some of his roster that he may or may not be proud of. So thanks again, and thanks for watching this video. If you could please like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And good luck on the Black Cat trials, everyone. Catch you guys next time.